morning, brother. I get that you're extremely busy, and I can only imagine your world being full of chaos. So I was called to offer this teaching to you, so I'll just give it my best shot. Meditation is a great form of learning to allow life to be life without attaching to it. In the Buddhist tradition, Buddha, 2,500 years ago, taught a progression of meditation. Started with Anapana and moved into a meditation called Vipassana. Now, Anapana is the training wheels that gives you the sharpness of mind and the awareness of the experiential knowledge. And we'll get into that in just a second. But once you understand that in yourself, in a focused part of your being, then you apply that technique to your whole being. That's Vipassana. It's very simple to understand. It's difficult to master. So why am I called to show you Anapana? Anapana's basic principle is to purify the mind. It is to allow all of those agitations or knots that we've built in our mind to relax and release the stuck energies. And most of the time we don't even understand these things as we are going from thing to thing to thing in our natural world. We're just solving problems, we're just fixing things. Oh, I got to pay this bill, I got to do that thing. Oh, I got to follow up with that guy. Oh, I got to do this. Right? Our mind is constantly racing. And sometimes our hearts are emotionally charged as well. Could be pain, sorrow, fear, shame, anger, all of those things, right? So our mind, our body, our emotional center can be in a rumble. Anapana is the technique that focuses the mind on the breath as it is, not as you're trying to force it to be or want it to be, or it's got to be this or that, those illusions we can create in our mind. But it's a state of being where you're just sharpening the mind in its ability to understand and perceive the experience of now. Okay? So what you're going to do is just sit 15 minutes a day, 3 times a week, right? Just something simple. Don't over commit, don't try to do too much. Just naturally and with love, give yourself 10, 15 minutes every other day. You know what I mean? If you miss a couple days, that's okay. This is the start. So the focus for this particular practice of Anapana is to focus your upper nose down to this triangle here. So this is the area you're going to put your mind or awareness towards, right? Just sit, close your eyes, and breathe. Naturally breathe. And you're just going to allow the mind to focus on the experience that you're having in the highest detail that you can. Can you feel the breath coming in and out? Can you feel the heat of the breath? Is it cool? Is it one nostril? Is it another nostril? Are you plugged? Are you free? Can you feel the tickle of the nose hairs? The sharpness of the mind you can gain over the next, we'll say, month of practice. That sharpness of mind we will start to apply to the rest of the body, which will free other energy cycles. The training wheels piece, the Anapana piece, is learning how to just sit with a quiet and focused mind. That in itself is a challenge, because as soon as you get into a place where you're like, okay, I'm going to do this, this is exciting, I'm going to rest, you're going to sit and your mind's going to go, what am I supposed to do? How am I doing this right? You know, it's going to attach to all of these ideals or thoughts of things that need to be done. Why am I sitting? I should be doing this. It doesn't matter what's happening in the mind. You have to just allow it to be. This is the practice. To allow whatever the chatter is, recognize that it's chatter, and come back to breath. Okay? The key is to experience the breath in the deepest conscious way that you can, while also understanding that your mind and body are going to give you things to attach to, right? Your body will become uncomfortable. You're like, oh, I'm stiff. I got to move. I got to do this. You know, there's lots of things that we're going to want to run away from when we sit in meditative practice of this nature. So just recognize when those things come up, accept them, breathe, and let them go. Come back to your breath, right? Just that center. As you learn how to bring those thoughts to a centered mind, that skill set will follow you into the rest of the world. You'll be able to go into meetings and be bombarded by stupid or whatever shows up in your world, and you'll be able to connect with that breath and then escape the mind chatter, escape the emotional chatter, escape anything that the body's telling you, run, fight, flight, whatever those senses are, right? You will be able to say, oh, I get what's happening, and I can come back to the experience of now and be centered in the now, right? During those difficult times, during those processes of life that can take us through whirlwinds. Anyway, I just wanted to offer that teaching to you so that you could start a practice of learning how to find your center at any moment of any situation. I think it's critical for every human being to be able to find that in themselves, and I'm happy to offer that. I hope you have a fantastic week, month, year. I know you are a light in this world, and I appreciate everything you do, man. It's beautiful to know you, and I hope you the best and brightest day. Take care.